PCGRO's mission is to empower and support Pierce County residents in advancing prosperity in our communities. In order to do so, PCGRO helped to bring wild leadership training to western Wisconsin. PCGRO recruited over 40 participants from 12 local organizations to participate in training and become leaders in their community.
I wanted to learn how to better bring people together with shared values, to empower them to do something about the issues they care about. And WILD is teaching the strategies, the leadership techniques, methods actually that have shown that through the test of time that they work. And things have to work now. We can't just talk about things we want to accomplish. We actually need to make progress. And I think WILD training will help with that.
I had been involved in citizen activism back in college and after college, and had been, 40 years doing my career, and finally was retired and had a little bit of space to think about and breathe, and really felt like I needed to be a more active citizen. And this seemed like a really good way to do it. I think given all the trends that are going on in the country, I felt the need to be more engaged than just doing door knocking every 4 years or every 2 years of the political campaign. Just needed to have more skills to be more of an active citizen.
But what really is getting me going right now is in the last election in April, Pierce County, St. Croix County, this region voted overwhelmingly to change how we draw the maps for representation in our area. Almost, if not more than 70% of the people, so it was nonpartisan, voted for nonpartisan district map drawing, which means our elections will be fairer. And that's what we're working on right now, is this idea of fair maps. How can we get our representatives to support the nonpartisan fair drawing of maps so that people are fairly represented in our government? Because right now things are terribly gerrymandered. One party, and whoever is in power, that party can perpetuate their majority through gerrymandering. And what we're saying is that that's not right. Doesn't matter if it's Republican or Democrat, that's not right. Those maps should be drawn in a nonpartisan way, no matter who is in power. And that's what we're fighting for.
My personal passion, I guess, is on local food systems. I worked in the food industry my whole career with organic and food system in the big food system. So what we're really working is trying to develop a local or regional food system that, at least for a portion of the economy. And I think there's, in thinking about it, I do think certainly about the environmental aspects and ecological aspects of not having food traveling so far, but I think it's also at the core really also related to democratization of the food supply, in the sense that we've got more and more corporate control of the food system. And a lot of those corporations, as the recent indictments of some of the poultry executives in the last few days have shown, are very anti-competitive, have a lot of illegal practices in many cases. That's really what I'm working on. It's a very long-term project.
So the most important thing I think we're getting out of this training is relationship building and the importance of one-on-one conversations to build connections with people and to realize the shared values that we have, and that in working together we can do something to empower those shared values and see those shared values at work in our government and in legislation and policy and in local community decisions that are being made. But we're not going to recognize what we share and what we're striving for if we don't develop relationships and have conversations with one another about those things. So that's a real important thing that I'm learning.
The part that's been most challenging, but also I think the most valuable for me is learning how to tell the narrative of, the personal narrative. It's not something, having come out of private business, the private sector, that whole narrative aspect is not necessarily part of what you do there. You're sort of there as a functionary, and so the whole learning to tell your own story and to use that to bring people in, to expand your network and expand your capacity and to get them to tell their story and to develop them as leaders. That's been the most challenging for me and probably the most important.